Speaking of an upset, Shane, we got to hit on it. This was not the number 2 game of the day by any means, but it was arguably the biggest story in college football. Appalachian State goes into College Station, knocks off the Aggies 17-14, and literally, I'm going to give you the highlights, Shane, from A&M. Devon Achane had a 26-yard rushing score, and he had a kickoff return touchdown. That's it. I mean, that's it. I mean, this is
terrible, Mike.
Yeah, and we were going back and forth on this, Shane. I mean, I'm not ready to sit here, and I don't want to, pile on the Aggies or anything and pat myself on the back because, hell, I get so much wrong. We could sit here and do a whole show on what I get wrong. But, man, I don't know where we go from here, Shane. And I mean, do you see any hope for this team? And the only silver lining I see, Shane, there's so much youth. I mean, that was something they played up in Sam Houston. We had 26 freshmen on the field, and they were making plays left and right. So maybe this is just the inconsistency you're going to get. But we're sitting here, Shane, we just extended Jimbo for some reason, and he's got $90 million guaranteed. I mean, I don't even know if A&M's got $90 million in their back pocket to buy him out and then turn around and try to bring in Urban Meyer or something crazy like that. So where do we go from here? How do we salvage this thing, Shane?
Well, I don't think you can fire Jimbo, and I'm not putting him on the hot seat just yet. But I saw an interesting thing come out the other day. They were comparing him and Sumlin's first X amount of games, and it was very comparable. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like you don't think about it that way because you get enamored by the recruiting classes and all the 5 stars that's coming down there to College Station. But just because they tell you they're good doesn't mean they are good. And this team, 2 games in, is no closer to being a complete ball club than they were in fall camp. So that's what's discouraging for me is I'm not seeing any improvement. It's not like they killed it week 1 and then came out and got tripped up on a that's not what happened here, Mike. This is 2 weeks in a row that they struggled against teams that they should not. This defense has done everything they can to stay in these ball games. I will say if there is any silver lining is the defense, but even then, they had trouble getting App State off the court. Shit. Even then, they had trouble getting App State off the field. We're talking type of possession. I think it was like 40-something minutes to 10 or 15. Yeah. It was ridiculous. App State came in there. They shortened the game. They kept the chains moving. They did exactly what they were supposed to, and it felt like we weren't creative enough to trip them up. We weren't creative enough to get some of these 4- or 5-star talent that we've been touting all offseason. The ball, Haynes King is off, man. He's, I'm not ready to say he's not the quarterback, but damn, Mike, he may not be the quarterback right now. I'm not saying that he's rattled. He's missing his guys. He's throwing behind folks. He's, they're going 3 and out and 4 and out, and it's just you cannot do that. You've got to get some consistency in there, and I'm not seeing it in the play calling. I'm not seeing it. I'm not. And this offensive line is embarrassing. Yeah. I don't want to see any more stats of how big or how strong or don't give me that shit no more. You're getting pushed around. You're getting your teeth knocked in by Sam Houston and App State. Come on, man. There's got to be somebody's got to answer for this. And if it's not Jimbo, then it's an offensive line coach. Then it's an offensive coach. It's something. We've got to do something different because what we're doing right now is not working.
Well, it's his offense. He's the one calling it. He's the one running it.
I know.
And he's supposed to be this quarterback guru, and this is year after year after year. Like you said, Haynes King, maybe his future's bright. I don't want to throw this all on him. 13 of 20 for 97 yards. He had no touchdowns. He lost a fumble. That was a critical play. But I think the most troubling thing, Shane, they were out physicaled, they were out executed, and most importantly, out coached. Texas A&M, they ran 38 plays in this ball game. 38. I mean, they had 9 first downs. They had 6 drives that were 7 plays or less. 2 of 8 on third down. And Appalachian State just went in there and basically just, took their manhood. And so, they did what Arkansas is doing to people right now. And there's not a single damn player on Appalachian's roster that Jimbo would trade for one of his own. So there ain't no excuses for this. I mean, this is just god awful. And I mean, there's times like Evan Stewart, you start getting a play going, and then he gets the ball punched out from him, and it's you get one little drive, and then something bad happens, and you just have no ability to recover from that. Haynes King was getting harassed all day, and I maybe. It almost feels like he's like a triple option quarterback or something, where they look for him to run more than they do pass, or they're always looking for him to get him rolling out or get him running, and it's just, it ain't happening. And I think even for his future, I mean, you think about sitting him to kind of get his head straight. And because we got a guy sitting on the bench, I'm not saying Max Johnson's the greatest quarterback in the SEC, but he's won some big games. He's got a full season of experience. And even maybe if Max Johnson's horrible and he doesn't understand his playbook, you got a true freshman there that they're hyping up as the next Johnny Manziel. But they've been saying the same thing about Haynes King. So I don't know if I'm buying any of that bullshit, but we gotta try
the
something.
Spark, Mike. How many times have you seen a quarterback come in, even an injured, after an injury or something like that, and it just sparks? It's just something different. Right. And I think that's what this fans wanted. I think this is what the team needed. I mean, they have been, here's the thing, they've been scripted and game prepping for a mobile quarterback, and App State did a pretty good job containing him. Mm-hmm. What happens when you mix it up with Big Bad Brad's boy coming in there? You know what I'm saying? Right. That's what I don't understand is, it's like, no, it's like, it's my rules or nothing. I talked a little bit earlier about Jimbo. He is the offensive coordinator, but sometimes you need to maybe relinquish that duty so that you can focus on the whole team. Because you are the CEO of that corporation, and sometimes if you're just focused on one part of it, you lose track of what's going on around you. So I don't know. Something has got to change this week. And because if it doesn't, we're going to be singing the same old thing, the same thing throughout the whole year, because we've not even hit SEC play. Right. And if you're losing to App State and Sam Houston's hanging close to you, you might as well kiss the West goodbye.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because that was the final thing I was going to say about A&M, Shane. These two early games, these were supposed to be the tune-ups, because we got Miami coming to town. And I don't know how good Miami is, but they're currently ranked 13th, so you got to think they're a capable program. And then after that, Arkansas away from home at Mississippi State, which beat you last year, and they're playing out of their minds right now. And then at Alabama, who we all know the storylines there. No need to rehash any of that. But I mean, there's just literally no time to get up to speed. You got to get up to speed now, otherwise. Hell, I hate to say it, Shane, but we're sitting here staring at 1-5. If you play like you did on Saturday, you're gonna be 1-5 going into the bye week.
Golly, Mike, you fire Jim then, don't you? I mean, I mean that's a lot of money. I get that. Maybe you find some cause, but I don't know. Maybe it's panic. It's Panic Monday. Huh? Yeah, no, this is. I mean, I wouldn't want to be.
I'm not sitting here saying they're going to be 1-5. That's crazy. But again, I'm saying if they play as poorly as they did on Saturday, that's not out of the question. They've got the talent to beat every team I just referenced, with the exception of maybe Alabama. So you should win 2 of these games at bare minimum. I mean, hell, A&M fans, you're expecting to beat all these teams. I would think maybe even Alabama. Yeah. Hell, you beat them last year, and Alabama. Well, we just saw Alabama struggle.
You know what this team needs, man. They need a players-only meeting. I know that sounds corny and lost, but it's just they need some leadership or something. Right. This has got to be fired up from within. I think about that LSU team a few years ago, and sometimes you need that. The coaches can yell at you till they're blue in the face, but that may only get you to an 8. You need to get to a 10, because your schedule does ramp up real quick. You got a top, what are they, 15, Miami? I mean, it's a top 15 program. And then like you said, it doesn't get any easier. You got Mississippi State, you got Alabama, you got all these teams that you got to ramp up real quick to. So they need somebody to step up and take control. And hell, if it ain't Haynes King, man, then give Johnson a shot and see if he can't lead these boys, because there's plenty of talent on Texas A&M's roster, and it's just they are young. I get that, but even young athletes, still are freaking athletes, and there's a reason that there's a 5-star by their name. They are poised for breakout, and they just got to be guided. And sometimes it's not from a coach, it's from a player. So I don't know, man. They need something. They just need to mix it up this week, brother, because if not, they're going to fall behind.
I know much of it is on the offensive line, but do you give another quarterback a shot moving
Possibly.
forward?
We'll evaluate everything. We'll evaluate everything. It's not just on the offensive line, guys. We had some mistakes up front, but we had some mistakes out wide. We had mistakes at tight. Everybody kind of took a turn. You know what I'm saying? And when all of a sudden you only have 8 possessions, that can happen. And we'll evaluate everything we do, Brent, seriously. We'll look at everybody and what goes on, and whatever we have to do to be successful, we'll do.
Down front left, Zach.
Jimbo, after a game like that, what is the message to the team?
Right now is the time to come together. Right now is the time to go back to fundamentals, believe in each other. There's a lot of football left. There's a lot of seasons have been together, and just because you lost one game, you got to put it behind you. You can't let one become 2. And you lock into what you have. You go back to your fundamentals. You trust in each other. You circle the wagons about how you work, how you practice, and every detail matters. And hopefully that we can understand that, and we make sure we do a better job coaching, and we go play the rest of the season and have a really good season. That's what we got. That's what we got to do right now. It was the only time we had it. I would have, if we thought it would have went, we'd have got some more possessions, maybe so, but there hadn't been anything there. You missed the opening throw of the second half on a slant route, but we overcame that, got the first down, and moved back up, and it was over. But at the same time, and quarterbacks, like coaches, we take all the glory and all the blame, and that goes with us. But we got to play better around him. But he has to play better too. There's no doubt. And what he had some opportunities to make some plays. What was he on today?
I'm sorry.
13 or 20. But again, that goes back, like you say, you cannot do anything bad. You can't do anything good. You know what I'm saying? We had a chance to make a couple plays. Had a post route. We overthrew by about a step late in that third drive. And then the other 2 little plays right there. So we'll evaluate what we have to do and do what we have to do. But it's not entirely. We got to do like the first play of that drive. We got a nice running play going on the edge, and somebody comes free inside. It's a conglomerate of things. We just got to get cleaned up.